Ahoy, crypto pirates! Welcome to your Discourse Syndicate FN Hangout. This is the time for you to come join us. I'll put the link in the chat room. It should be in the description. Well, it's not in the description. It's on YouTube. It's on all the Telegrams or on the Twitters. You name it. I'll put it up there. I am the captain, your captain, RG3, coming at you back from the Charlotte, North Carolina tour and the Burning Man expedition. Oh my gosh, what an experience. I always get to talk to you guys about that a little bit today too. Say hello to everybody. Let me say hello. Benny, yes, we should be talking about staking. Welcome. Week 8. Okay, I'll have to figure that one out. My man is back. Let's go. All right. I'm your man. Right on. Empty Corner. What's happening? Good to see you. Hex Glenn. Evening to you. Russ. There a buffet in this casino? Maybe. I don't know. Eagle Owl. Good to see that you're still here. Thos Child. Oh, the man, the myth, the legend. The Thos is graced us with his presence. I've seen him out today and the YouTube's hanging out. So glad he came and hang out with us. Haven't seen you for a while. Good to see you, buddy. Doorsy. Yes, it's been an effing minute. That's for sure. And I'll tell you guys why. Sandy Beach, my lady. Welcome. Thank you for all of your support. Appreciate you. Seeing you out there today too. I've been out on the streams, hitting the road, promoting the tour, helping SJ and Black Hexican get this thing on the road, get people pumped up to come out and see us in Atlanta. So we're going to talk about that too tonight, of course. Melv Tony, good to have you. Thank you. Throw us some price prediction. We got some green candles today, don't we? A little green candle action. Yeah, RG comes back and the green candles are back. Let's see. Coincidence? Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. Who else is in here? Hex to the moon. Just transferred from SJ's channel. Yeah, she did a good stream today, showing everybody her little tiny mini bus and what she's out there doing. She's tearing it up. Appreciate that gal. Doug, what's up to you? I like simple names. Sandy Beach. Let's see. Hexander. Hey, what's up, Hexander? All the regulars are showing up here. Thank you guys for supporting us and being here. I appreciate it. Haven't been doing this. Been doing this for 4 years, and we're back to the numbers that we were at when we first started. I remember when 35 was like, yeah, that was exciting. We had 35 people. Now 35. Yeah, I'm excited because you guys are the ones that matter. That's what counts. Empty Corner member for 13 months. Thanks for being a member, man. I guess I should blast you like Rags does for joining us, but I'm not going to do that. Thank you. We appreciate it. Let's see who else. Rags or Thoschild and MT are having a conversation here. Hedron, okay, and P Hedron, okay. We got some movement there. I haven't seen that. Crypto Games Club, welcome. And who else? Cause D. Well, hello to you and welcome, Cause D. Crypto Ewok, hey, and Ty Bull, nice to see you too. MA Captain, good to see you. A lot of drama in the past month with a lot of Hexicans. No idea why. Bear market brings out the worst in people. Yeah, you know, I ain't gonna even go into that because we know we've seen it. Rectangle, what's up? What's up with your beautiful self? Yes. Wild SJ appears, and I think we got her in the green room. I think so. I think she's back there like changing into something a little more comfortable or more appropriate for the FN Hangout versus her little house show that she was just doing. Let's see, Russ, NGL, in a weird way, I kind of love the numbers. Yeah, the numbers are cool. I love the FUD. I love you know what? There's something about being the underdog and having a boot in your face all the time that just freaking fires me up. Because one day, I'm going to grab that leg and that boot off of my face. And whoever's at the other end of that boot is going to get an ass whooping like they've never seen before, like they've never felt. And I'm going to stand up victorious. And that's what it's going to be like when we finally get vindicated in this ecosystem. And it's coming. It is coming. We've already won, but the victory dance has not begun yet. They haven't raised their hand up in the middle of the ring, and that's coming. It's coming. Good evening to you, Billy Boy Crypto, and Bloodmore, and MA. Wild SA, how did you go handling the drama? You all good? Wild SA, how did you go handling the drama? You're going to have to ask her that. What do you think about a trope? You got me to say it. Oh, anyway. Yeah. What can I say? Have at it, folks. Have at it. Have at it. I got my bag of Hex. My Hex bags are only getting bigger. That's all I know. My bags aren't growing from anything else. That's for sure. You know what? I got people call me friends, Hexicans. Say, yeah, I put a couple $100 in this. I put a couple $100 in that. I put $500 in this. I don't even do that. I don't even do the $100, $200 thing. I don't do that. I mean, I'm invested in some other stuff, like I'm not going to say, but stuff that I truly believe in that's building on the RH ecosystem, that's actually putting out products that are viable, that are worth something. And especially the stuff that I got for free. So, I watch that stuff. But anyway, Bloodmore, happy you actually reacted that way. I literally have nothing intelligent, important, passionate to say about any of the other projects that are on top of Pulse Chain or built around Hex. I truly and honestly believe that there are a couple things that are out there that are worth a shit. For instance, Internet Money, KG's wallet. I think that thing is valuable. I used it today because my MetaMask was jacked, and I would have used it, but I was like in a hurry. I had a stake that was like, oh my gosh, it's going to start bleeding out. If I was gone for 2 weeks and I just realized I had a stake about to bleed out. So I jumped on there and I couldn't get my stupid MetaMask to work. And I'm like, wait, why am I not on Internet Money? So I got on Internet Money, boom, connected it, wham, everything's cool. It's working. I love the way it shows how much cash value is in there. It's a great wallet. Something that was built on Pulse Chain that actually has value, that works, that you didn't have to go and, sacrifice for or anything like that. It's just there. It works. Love it. The other thing that I think is most important that we should all be talking about is I've always talked about what in crypto, the concepts that have been proven. For instance, Bitcoin. I hate Bitcoin. Why? Because old dilapidated technology is being shoved down all of our throats. And that's why I really despise Bitcoin. Not because of what it did, because what it did was it proved that we can stop the double spend and that we can have a peer-to-peer transaction between two human beings outside the banking system, outside of the government, safely and securely over the internet. That's the thing that Bitcoin gave us. Yay, thank you, Bitcoin. But let's all stop bowing down to it and calling it the end-all be-all. It's not. It was the first iteration of crypto, and it proved a concept. Ethereum did the same thing. It proved a concept that we can make smart contracts and build cool shit on crypto. That's it. Cool shit like what? The next concept, Hex. Hex proved that you could build a better Bitcoin and make it do something, generate trustless yield with a smart contract that's immutable and unchangeable and has been working for almost 4 years straight now. Proof of concept. Those 3 proofs of concepts are important in the crypto history. The other proof of concept was what Hedron did. Hedron proved that the T-share is like a little nuclear battery, that you can take other cryptos and build them around it and give them value and give them power right off the bat. And Alex from Hedron did that. And that's why I think that Hedron is important, because it proved another concept. Now people are going to build all kinds of things around the T-share now because of that. So, hey, all this other stuff that's out there, I am rooting for those guys. All those other projects that are right now mostly promise coins. Now there are a few things, X Coast, PH System. These guys are putting out some good stuff, and I'm proud of them, and they're doing good work. And thanks, guys, for proving that Richard built you something that you can all build on. And I said this on Cabana's show earlier that you look at things like XRP. XRP is buying companies for $250 million, like Fortress and Medico. They just bought another one. I think it was Medico they just bought. And they're buying these companies to add these products and services, these banking products and services, to their crypto ecosystem. More middlemen, more centralization from a company. Ripple's a company, let's not forget. And crypto is cheering this shit on. They're cheering it on. Yes, give us more centralization. Give us more corporate ownership. Bring your institutional money. They're cheering this shit on. Are we not cypherpunks? Are we not crypto pirates? Did we not get into this to get out of the banking system, to get away from the corporate freaking shucks, to get away from all of that bullshit? And we're welcoming it with open arms and cheers? It's a sad, sad state of affairs that crypto's in. And why? Because they haven't advanced. They haven't moved forward. They're still looking at the closed doors, at the Bitcoins, at the Ethereums. They're not looking at the DeFi doors that have opened up in front of us that we have today. Our ecosystem is PH, internet money, liquid loans, Power City. These guys have found true DeFi and are building on top of it. So I'm cheering for them. I want decentralization. I want people out there in the community building stuff that are going to put these products in the market and put them in the hands of us, decentralize them and make them immutable and give them to us and let us have them, versus a company like Ripple buying other companies and adding more middlemen and more companies and more corporate parties and more corporate buildings to the mix. I don't want that. I want what we have over here. We're on the right side of history. This is the direction crypto is going to go if it's going to survive. If it goes that way, it dies along with the rest of everything out there that's worth nothing. It doesn't belong to us. It's in the hands of the 1%. And they will walk all over us, and we will lose our beautiful thing that we call crypto. I don't want that. We got to promote this. We've got to get louder. We've got to get more people involved. We've got to start getting people onboarded in the bottom of the bear market when Hex is under a penny. People begged for these prices. And now where are they? Where are they? Where are people that are going to call you in 8 months from now and begging you to get them in when Hex is $1 or 50 cents or 40 cents or 20 cents or whatever it might be? What are you doing to get those people in now? Because guess what they're going to do 8, 9, 10, 11 months, 12 months, whatever it's going to be before the bull market really hits. What are they going to do? This is exactly what's going to happen. Mark RG's words right now. Your phone's going to ring somewhere around October, November of next year. It's going to be your good buddy that you've been trying to get into crypto. And they're going to look at the price, and Hex is going to be, let's just say 50 cents. And they're going to say, why didn't you get me in when it was under a penny? It was under a penny just not even a year ago. Why didn't you shake me? Why didn't you grab me by the shoulders, slap me in the face, and say, it's time for you to get in now? That's what they're going to tell you. That's what my boy Mikey did. I got him in at the top. And he said, man, why didn't you tell me to get in? And I said, you know what? There's only one solution right now, and that's for you to DCA in as it's going down. And that's what he's doing. He is changing his cost basis by dollar costing in. That's the only solution to getting in at the top. Now, you guys right now have an opportunity to get your friends in at the bottom and not have to deal with that situation where the next cycle, they're going to be getting in at the top at, say, 50 cents a dollar, $2, $2.50, whatever it is. And you've got to help them DCA in and then make them wait through another 3-year bear cycle. That's what I'm going through with some of my friends. I don't want you to do that. You need to be onboarding people now. And if you have trouble onboarding people or you want to help onboard people and you're in the Atlanta area, get them to the Pulse Chain Tour so that we can talk to them for you and validate and verify what it is you're trying to teach them or tell them. Because usually coming from you, your friend, whatever, your mom, your dad, your kid, whatever, you don't really listen. You want to hear some outside validation. So that's what these Pulse Chain Tour and these things are good for, especially for onboarding. Bring your people because there's a neck there to choke. You know what I mean? They get to meet the person that's actually telling them this. That's gives you a lot of credibility. when somebody's willing to sit there and look you in the eyes and talk to you about what it is that's going on. There's something about that. There's something about that for me, especially. I need to get in front of people. This 2D thing doesn't work great. It works. It's better than just over the phone or whatever. But there's something about being in front of somebody, looking them in the eyes, seeing their hand movements, seeing their body gestures, seeing how everything is going when it's coming out of their mouth, seeing how passionate they are about what they're talking about, seeing if they really believe in what they're doing. There's something about that. And that's why you need to start bringing people to what it is that we're doing. Our seats are empty, guys. Our seats are empty. And I'm like blown away. It's like, this is the time to onboard. This is when we should be bringing people to the table. This is where we show people that we care about them by bringing them in at prices under a penny and showing them what this is all about. That's what we need to do. So anyway, I need to open this up to everybody. Let me look at the chat real quick. Oh boy. You know what? I want to talk real quick about my experience at Burning Man. So real quick, before I bring everybody up, which I'm going to do here in just a second, the wild SJ is looking very lovely in the green room, I must say. And I think I've got identity block in there too. Ooh. So my friend Cosmic Cowboy, and a lot of you know him, pink mohawk guy in the movie, just a great community member, comes on the FN Hangout. What a beautiful soul this guy is. Just the best of the best people that you've ever met. Cosmic Cowboy is. And he's been inviting me to this Burning Man, and my good buddy Kool-Aid has also been inviting me and saying, hey, you got to come to this thing. And me and Kool-Aid are thick as thieves. He's one of my best friends and just a good guy all around. And so they finally got me to go to this thing. So I go all out. I rent this RV, kind of under the table, rented it because you're not supposed to take RVs to Burning Man. And I don't know. It's like a no. I don't know. I didn't know about it. All I knew is they told me buy some scarves, buy some goggles, buy some this, buy an e-bike. So we got all this stuff. We packed it in the RV and we went off to Burning Man. And sat in line when we got there that evening. You know, it's a 7-hour drive. We got there, sat in line for like 7 hours, 6-7 hours in line just to get in the gate. I'm like, oh my gosh. Park the RV, get all set up. Everything's all set. What an awesome place this is. So I'm in this desert oasis where we've got all the amenities of home. We've got an RV. We've got basically a restaurant at our disposal because we had this kitchen. We had a steam shower. We had a theater. We had they had all kinds of just cool rooms where they were doing theatrics and they were doing talks and all this stuff. The camp there, I was at Camp Mystic was the name of the camp, and famous YouTubers there. In fact, the guy that invented the game Tetris was there. He's one of the members, and got to meet with him and just cool stuff. And experienced everything, every type of weather you can imagine. Hot, cold, beautiful daytime, beautiful nighttime, whiteouts in the daytime, whiteouts at nighttime. You couldn't see anything, the dust, and the Burning Man fashion. So basically what you got there is you got a bunch of naked, doped up, hippie, artsy, beautiful, fun-loving people there. Just incredible. Just incredible. And they all are dressed either half-clothed, mostly naked. Some of them are just plain naked, just walking around, you know, whatever. And then they have this like kind of fashion to them where they've got these desert scarves on and these big goggles that are all fashioned out. But all of this stuff, even the bikes that they ride and all the colors and lights on them, everything that their art, fashion, design, that Burning Man look is all out of necessity. Because if you don't have those scarves, you can't breathe in a whiteout. If you don't have those goggles, you're going to get blasted in the eyes with the dust that comes up in the windstorm. I mean, it's crazy and it's beautiful and it's inhospitable and hospitable all at the same time. I mean, it was a crazy cool experience. And then, of course, we had a national disaster where 3 months worth of rain fell in 24 hours, and that dusty, dry lake bed turned into a mud swamp, and people couldn't walk through it. They couldn't get services in and out of the place, so they couldn't empty the toilets. People were rationing food and water, worried about being stuck there for a couple more days because it didn't stop raining. It kept raining, so they couldn't get services in. Toilets overflowed, you name it. It was just freaking awful. But all the community came together, helped everybody out. We took some refugees into our RV. In fact, Nerd Girl was one of our refugees. She couldn't get back to her camp. Her camp had kind of got washed out. The tent people got washed out of the camp. And so she had a friend there with her, and they stayed in the RV. And then we had another person that was a refugee from a tent stayed in the RV. So we had all these refugees kind of staying with us. And then everybody came together and cleaned up and got all everything. And I mean, you had 80,000 people there. So the disaster in and of itself went pretty good. They had one loss of life there. But usually I guess they lose a few people every year there because there's a lot of people doing a lot of this. It's debauchery going on. It's beautiful and debauchery going on at the same time. But I mean, that's kind of how it went. And then we finally got out of there. It was an exodus. We got out. We watched a man burn. We got out of there, and it took us 9 hours to get out of the line. And then I was banned from RV share when I turned in my RV because there was some damage and it was pretty dirty. And the person didn't know I was going to Burning Man, but he didn't say I couldn't. And I didn't say I wasn't. I did say I was going to a festival in Gerlach. So I didn't lie, but he didn't. It was kind of like a nah. So, but anyway, I got in big trouble. I had to pay a bunch of deposit money for that RV to get fixed somewhere. But anyway, that was it. It was a beautiful and horrific experience all at the same. But I'll tell you what, I'd do it all over again. It was really cool. You can't buy anything there. So all day long, you can just drive around and get you a grilled cheese sandwich, get you a hot dog here, get you a quesadilla or a taco over here. All the bars were open. RG don't drink or, partake, but, we all I got to get a soda water here and there. And it was extremely cool. The people there were amazing. I met a lot of famous YouTubers in the health world. In fact, one of the YouTubers that my wife follows on a regular basis was right there in my camp. And it was kind of a trip. And guy, I got to talk with him, and he actually helps people with ADHD and their minds, and when they're losing their minds when they get older, like RG. But it was really cool to experience all that and see all those people. And I'm telling you, if you've never been to that and you have any idea of wanting to go there, you should. It was quite the experience. Definitely a cool thing. So, all right, with that, I just wanted to tell everybody that was why I was gone for that week. And then after that, got home, went straight the next day to North Carolina, to Charlotte, and then spent the long weekend there. And had fun with Rags and SJ and Black Hexican and Sloth, and we got to go see LL Cool J while we were out there. Very, very cool. But anyway, let's see. Let me see if does anyone know what the 6 P's are? I think it's the 7 P's, and it's prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. That's the 7 P's. And I have a 13 one, but yeah, that's what it's 7 P's. Prior proper planning prevents piss poor performance. I think I get where you're coming from. RH Max, hey, what's up? We got a famous streamer in the chat room. We've got RH Max. What's up, man? How you doing? Hex Glenn, you should go. Sandy Beach, you go. Good to see that. That'll be cool. Maybe you'll be there next year with all of us. Wait, toilets overflowed? Yeah, there was one point, and I'll tell you, I was told that in order to use the toilet, they had to take a piece of cardboard and push it down just so that they can get in there and use it. Oh man. And then of course they weren't emptying into the toilets or the RVs. So our RV was overfilled. The Blackwater was full, so we couldn't use that one. So it was bad. Then finally they got in and they cleared those out, and then we were back on the road again. But yeah. You should go, Sandy. All right, without further ado, I am going to bring up the guests. First of all, let me put the invite link into the chat room. So for those of you who don't know, for those who are there, this is an open forum. Now, lately I've had to kind of vet people a little better than we've been doing in the past. So if I don't know you, you're not getting on. Sorry. That's the StreamYard link. So Hexicans, regular, we're not going to put up with any of the bull crap no more. I don't need you guys to get us chopped off. But anyway, if we do know who you are, whatever, you've been around. But boom, there's the link. Come on in. I'm going to bring everybody up. We have tonight, and not that often, we are being graced with wild SJ looking rather. Look at you. Are you trying to get followers? Is that what this is?
I heard you had issues with people being naked on this stream.
Don't stand up. Don't. Oh boy. All right, I'm going to put SJ back in the green room because I don't know what we might have there. Yeah, ID block. Hey, what's up, bro?
What's up, Cap?
I think SJ's trolling us.
I'm wearing a Jolly Roger, all right?
Oh, are you really wearing the... Oh, my goodness. Yo, okay.
On
the FN Hangout, she's trolling for followers. Everybody, you can find SJ at AWildSJ on Twitter, and her Patreon is
AWildSJ. Patreon /AWildSJ. YouTube
no OnlyFans at this point.
AWildSJ.
And you can see her live at the Pulse. If you lose that flag.
It's very tight. It's tied. It's double knotted. Okay.
Side effects is nice. Hex to the Moon says cute. And Ash says, marry me.
Third time's a charm, huh?
When hot tub, says Russ.
Hey, I did a hot tub stream with Crypto Kool-Aid, actually.
Oh, he's always in the hot tub. Like literally, like my first meeting was him. Come over. He's like, hey, we're getting the hot tub. So it was a hot tub and a box of wine in the hot tub.
I still don't know what to do with this thing. Sorry. All right.
So what's up, ID? How's it going, my brother?
Oh, good. Oh, good. Enjoying the bear. And right.
Enjoying the bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you've got to, right? I mean, this is the time people really need to think about, because it's about to flip. Oh, look at the Sci Vive cup. Hey, that's nice. It's about to flip. Now, I don't know when it's going to flip. It's going to flip in 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever. But it's going to flip here. And are you talking to your no coiners? Are you talking to your people who are interested in Hex? Are you talking to the people who've been questioning you about this thing? Because now is the time. Now is the time to get that Gemini or that Coinbase account set up. Now is the time to show them how to onboard their fiat and connect their bank accounts to the onboarding platform, so that when it does come time to buy some of this X, Pulse X, whatever it is you want to get them into, the core products, then you're going to want to, like I sent out a message today. Someone's like, hey, you're going to show us how? I say, go get yourself a Coinbase account or a Gemini account, hook it up to your bank, and then we'll talk after you're done. You know, and I sent them on their way to go do that so that we can sit down and show them how to onboard. But yeah, you've got to be talking to your folks right now. This is the time, because they're going to call you 8 months from now, ask you why you didn't.
Or why gas are so high or something like that. Because even though we're going to have gas, it's always going to be cheaper compared to the Ethereum ratio. But then, if you can get some gas now or some transactions that you could do now 1 cent, 2 cent, 3 cent, and then it can 10, 20x, and now you're doing it at a quarter, then you can do 5 less transactions, 10 less transactions, or so. That's something that at least it helped me, because I remember in like 2020 where there was, like the FOMO dips that we had, at the start, and then we had the Got Will in April, and then it's almost like the second that 2 or 3 weeks would pass, then we would go back to boring, and then that was the time to take advantage. So I feel, I mean, we're now with those almost same prices, so it's like it's just to do the same strategy.
I was just going to answer that.
The Sci Vive audiobook on Amazon Audible yet?
So it's on the back burner. It's in Richard's hands at this point, but because of everything else that he's busy with, it's not his priority right now. Honestly, it's ready for that. It just needs to go through some legal hoops. So basically, like it's kind of in the hands of Richard and his lawyer. And they have to kind of figure out how to get that all set up so that Richard does receive the royalties from it when it is actually on Audible. So it's ready. It's not his priority right now.
Would you explain to everybody first? There might not be people who understand what Sci Vive is or what Richard does or why you even have anything to do it. Would you explain to everybody what's going on with Sci Vive, what it is, and why you're even talking about it right now?
Gladly. So Sci Vive, Richard wrote 2 books. Both of these books kind of surfaced or started to become text documents around 2016, from what I understand. One was previously just called Fix the World or Fix the Money, Fix the World. And now it's called 15 Ways to Fix the World. I helped him retitle it. And then the other book is Sci Vive, which is much more well known. 15 Ways to Fix the World is a lot shorter, but it's a book that I think is very applicable to what Richard's doing right now and the battle that he's about to face. Sci Vive is a lot of what Richard was doing with the top hat and the pink curtain, all of his self-help stuff, right? It's nearly 500 pages long. And basically what happened is that I spent a good 6 months after my good friend Crypto Kool-Aid got me into Hex. I spent a good 6 months learning what Hex was, how it works, what a T-share is, all from different stream, like mostly Wales only one. I was actually just talking about this because he was speaking my language. I was learning options trading, found Crypto Kool-Aid, turned me on to Wales only. And that basically was like, helped me wrap my mind around how Hex works and what it really, like what the implications are. I didn't know who Richard was. I didn't know shit about crypto. Like I had no idea about any of this stuff. And so after feeling very secure in my investment, I was like, okay, well, now that I feel good about this, let me find out who Richard is. Like, who is this Richard guy? Because at that point in time, he had just started doing his outrage stuff. Like he was doing unboxing videos. And I was just like, what is this dude up to? Like, why is he doing this? Like, who is he really? And I come to find out that he's written these books. And I travel all the time and I love audiobooks. So I was just like, well, you know what? Let me just listen to the audiobook. Well, the only audiobook that existed, and shout out to Ann Hex, who did this originally, was a speech to text version. So it was just very monotonous and there was no inflection and you could not tell if it was, you could tell it wasn't a human. And it was just really hard to get through. And on top of that, the actual text itself was not edited in any way. Like, I mean, it was edited-ish, but it was just the PDF alone was hard to get through. So I was just like, you know what? I love audiobooks and this thing doesn't have an audiobook. And, this is kind of just like this little niche thing, right? Like I want an audiobook. So I'm going to go ahead and read it anyways. I might as well just record myself. And I'd never done an audiobook before. So I was like, I'm just going to record myself reading this book because it seems like, I mean, if I want it, I'm sure there's other people who are more into this that might be interested in it, right? And again, I had no clue. I had no idea how well known Richard was or who he, like any of that, right? So I just set out to record the Sci Vive audio because I wanted it for myself. And So there are actually two versions. The first version that I did was totally unprofessional. You can hear birds chirping and dogs barking and lawnmowers going in the background. And then because that was so well received, I had so many people tell me I fell asleep listening to your voice. I could not have read this because I'm dyslexic. I don't like reading. I only listen to audiobooks. I would never have heard Sci Vive if it wasn't for you. I decided to go ahead and take a class, and I learned how to do audio editing and how to actually, do vocal work and do audio books. So the second edition is finished as well. And that second edition is the one that's going to be going on Audible. Like it's Audible ready. It's the quality that they need it to be. It checks all their boxes, and as soon as Richard's ready and he's got the time and energy to move forward with that, it will be on Audible. So that's the story. And I also, and in that all of that going on, between the first and second version, I edited the text. I basically just was like, okay, this part needs to go here. Like there were unfinished sentences, there were unfinished thoughts, there were pieces that I didn't know whether it was something Richard had written or he had got from somewhere else. So I had to do a lot of research and copy paste a lot of things onto the internet to make sure that it was actual content that I didn't have to cite. So a lot of things got cited because, it wasn't actually Richard's words. I come to find out it was someone else's quote or something else going on, right? So all that happened. And then RH Max stepped up and he was like, hey, how can I help? What's going on with this? And so after I did my first, and I'm not an editor, I did some in college and high school, and I enjoy doing that kind of work, but I'm by no means a professional. So he was.
Uh-oh. She's on Elon's Starlink, so it should pop back in here in a second.
I think on those that the book would be like that all over the place. I think Richard had mentioned at one time that he was recording, so he would kind of do these recordings.
Yeah,
kind of put some thoughts into the book.
He just put thoughts down.
Would be all over the place.
Yeah, and SJ
awesome
went in and revamped everything and took the quotes from other people and cited them as they need to be cited, and then I think RH Max got in and helped with the editing and whatnot. And now they've got a real product that they can put out there and get on an audiobook and put out to the folks. Oh, we lost her. She'll pop back in. But I wanted everybody to understand what it was she was doing there. I mean, Richard, one of the questions I wanted to ask her was, what's her opinion of Richard now understanding this book and the man behind what was written? Because I mean, my biggest reason for being convicted in this thing is Richard and my belief in him and what he's trying to do here, and my understanding of him as a man. And, meeting him a couple of times, sitting down, breaking bread, having conversations with him, having him on stream with us, watching him interact with the community and the people that were, helping him to get the word out about what he was doing and everything else. There you are. Hey. Everything else that he's done and who he was as a human being, that's what's made me. And I guess they call me a cultist. They call me a Richard Hart maximalist. They call me all these other things, up his ass, sucking his whatever, they've all said these things about me. But Richard Hart, has changed my life financially because I did listen to what he was saying and because I did believe in him and what he was doing. And I have nothing but gratitude because of that. So if it looks like I'm a cultist or whatever, then that's fine. So be it. But if you had a person that came into your life that mentored you in a way that helped you to become financially independent, to change your whole family's lifestyle, to change its trajectory in the world, put you in a completely different spot, to take the stress off of your shoulders that you've had on your shoulders for, 45 years of your life, you're going to have a lot of gratitude for that person, speak very highly of them. And actually take their teachings and the words that changed your life out to the rest of the people that you care about or want to get involved with, and that's why I made the movie. That's why I made the channel. That's why I'm part of this community, because I believed in him. He changed my life, and I want to thank him for that. And I want to help other people to do the same, and then if that makes me a cultist, then, whatever. But I think it's just called being a good fucking human being anymore. Right. But everybody has something to say. But what I was going to ask yesterday before you got pushed off, and why I got on that little tangent was, you got in, you saw from the surface what was going on, and then you actually got to dig into Richard Hart's kind of his thoughts and his written down thoughts and what he was trying to do, and who he is as a person. And now I just explained how and why I felt the way I did about him. Now, I didn't read Sci Vive. I haven't dug through it. I've gotten quotes, and I've seen a lot of stuff that you've done, and I've read part of the book, but I just couldn't get through it. It was so hard at the first to start reading it. You tell me your thoughts on Richard Hart and what being involved in this project has done to you and your opinion of it.
So I'm glad that you said it the way that you did, and you explained, why it is that you do what you do and feel the way you do about Richard, because I've not seen a financial gain at all. I have no, and this was my pinned tweet a little while ago, because I was brought to tears because I talk about the fact that, having not had any financial gain, the fact that I feel as if, even if this did go to zero, not that it would be a rug pull, but even if I never had any kind of financial gain, my life has 1,000x'd. The magnitude and quality of humans in my life now, I've never been happier. I've never been surrounded by more brilliant, wonderful humans. I'm out here doing what I love, because I love promoting things that make a difference and change people's lives. Now, financially, again, hasn't really changed my life in that manner. But in terms of who I am as a person, how I feel about what I'm doing and how I'm moving in this world, I've never been more on fire. I just tweeted that a couple nights ago. I feel like a phoenix. I seriously love, I get to be promoting products and this ecosystem. I can't tell if
you're good.
Okay, all right. You were both not moving much either, so it's like, are you frozen or is it me? But so there are several things in Sci Vive that changed my life completely. Even outside of meeting people within this ecosystem, there was a time in my life, and I've only talked about this a few times on stream, but I was going through being non-binary, and I had decided that was where I was going in life, and that's what I wanted to do. So look, I have a sister that's trans, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and I think people should be able to do what they want to do. However, what I learned through Sci Vive and what changed me was when Richard talks about, and he's all for, people being gay, he's like, that's fine, right? But when you're dividing, when you're causing more division instead of inclusion, because of the way that you want to be addressed, or because of, I don't know, it's hard to put into words. Basically, there was something, and I got to find the line to quote it, but there was something that he said that made me see that I was not doing what I was doing. I just had this moment of realization, I don't need to be doing this. I don't want to be correcting people all the time, or making people change the way that they look or think or say certain things all the time. And Crypto Kool-Aid was a big part of that too, because when he and I had that conversation, he was just like, you do understand that you are causing me to completely rewire my brain, every time I talk to you, right? And so
that's
between Kool-Aid and something I read in Sci Vive, that really just made me think twice about where I was going in that term. And I was like, no, you know what? I'm a woman, and I seriously, I'm so glad. I feel amazing that I decided to embrace that, because I was a tomboy growing up, you know what I mean? So the whole non-binary thing, like, it jived with me, because I was like, well, I don't feel like a girl. I'm not a girly girl. Like, I don't do my nails. I don't get my hair done. I don't like going
That's just
shopping.
perception, though, and society throwing that stuff on you.
Absolutely.
And the TikTok generation and all that. I mean, it's been pushed on everybody to where they want to feel, oh, well, no, I don't fit in that, so I'm over here. And
right.
no, I don't.
Right. So here's the label, or here's the label, or here's the label. Here's, you know, like, let's just divide ourselves up into all these tiny little labels. And then, you know, and then we're just all in our own little corners with our own little flags, doing our own little things. Right. Like, it can be. And it's, again, I have nothing against anyone in that community, because I many of my friends are. And, you know, like, I
just wasn't yours.
Exactly. And I couldn't bring myself to be part of the divisiveness of it, like wanting to divide people in that manner.
I think, I mean, I have a story like that too. Let me bring on some of our other guests, because they've been waiting patiently. Some of them are falling asleep in the green room. We've got this is going to be a star-studded cast today. We've got the Thos coming in here. What's happening, baby?
Mic check. Can you hear me?
Hey, and we got another guest too. Now, I don't know him very well, but I have seen him around, and I know he's part of the community. And this is Dr. H, the crypto.
Hey,
welcome.
Hey,
what's happening?
Nice.
Welcome.
Have me on board, RJ. Thank you, RJ.
Is this your first time on the stream?
On this stream, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, on the FN Hangout, right?
ATX had me on, and I'm blessed they let me come on. Flat my lips for a bit a couple of months ago, but I've been like super busy in the office. There's been lots of changes going on. I was hoping to have done some streaming, but it's just been overtaken by business, unfortunately. But thank you very much.
So you're a chiro by trade?
I am a chiropractor. Yes, a principal.
Love it, man. My brother is in your clan, man. He's a very skilled, gifted. They say he has Jesus hands, my brother. So I'm down with what you do, Doc.
Cool, man. So I'm a principal chiropractor. What that means is there's a very rich principle, and that's actually why crypto and, in fact, Richard Hart's products resonated with me.
Yes. Oh my God, they're right there, dude. Yes.
Principles that that I was on top of a roof, sweating my ass off in 21, just before I bought the top, and I heard Richard. Well, actually, I was looking into crypto because obviously the zombie virus had taken out my business. So the first thing I did was I because everything was shut down, no one was moving, I went and bought a house. So I was like, right, no one's buying houses, so I need a house. I bought as much stock in petroleum as I could get my hands on, because no one's driving cars. I sold the top of that stock 6 months ago. I'm selling the top of my house in 3 days' time, and I'm investing it in the bottom of the Richard Hart products. So I'm excited about that. So I kind of did some kind of smart moves over the years, but only smart just because, you know, I've got certain principles that I've learned over the years from other people. And actually when Richard Hart was, and I don't know, I get the feeling I'm probably a little bit like RG. So when someone says something and you get it, you go, that's it, I'm in. There's no kind of like, I'm half in or I'm a bit in. I'm just either in or I'm not in. And when I heard Richard, I was like, yes, that makes sense. So I'm in. I went all in at the top. I turned 6 figures into 5 figures. But that's okay. And this is where I wanted to actually start appearing at the bottom, because I don't want to be, kicking around with a whole ton of money when it's easy to talk about it. I want to say I was there at the bottom and I bought more.
Yes. Yeah.
Not a fair weather cryptopian, that's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
There you
go. And
so I wanted to say hi. I was introduced and I didn't get to say hi. So hi, Captain. Thanks for having me. IDB, how you doing, brother? Good to see you. And SJ, my sister, how are you doing?
Lovely.
Yeah. I already said hi to Doc.
Well, hello and welcome. Good, always good to have
Hey
you.
guys, I think there's like a little bit of feedback or something. Maybe it's me.
From who?
I'm not hearing it. But RG, can you please post the Sci Vive link?
Okay, did you put it in the
private?
Oh, it's in the private. Yeah, I put it in the private.
Yeah. Boom.
Are you still hearing feedback, IDB? I'm going to mute my mic. Let me know if you still
Put it in
here.
the chat there too, and then I'll put it down at the bottom.
No, that's the thing. It was before you guys came in, so it might be one of us three that we were here before.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's me. Somebody have a
Maybe it's me. Maybe it's
YouTube. You got a
it's the
YouTube
one
open or something?
RG, did you mean to put that in the?
I put it in the chat too, just so people can have it. But I'll also post it on the.
You put it in the private chat.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
All right.
Oh yeah.
What would you do without us, RG?
I lose myself. There we go. How's that?
Thank you.
Well, SC, I'd just like to say thank you very much. You've been actually you've been a huge inspiration. All the hard work you're doing, traveling around in a bus. Since the German guys, the biggest inspiration since then.
Thank
And
you.
obviously, RG goes without saying. And one of the reasons I actually got most inspired to come on was after I was trying to get into meetups, but I failed miserably so far. But Matty, after he broke both collarbones and was streaming with 2 broken collarbones, I was like, oh my God. You know, even if you're just coming on as a guest speaker, you got to do something, Dr. H. You got to get out there, H. You got to do something. So
Good for you, man. That's awesome.
I've done a lot, but I do what I can.
Yeah. And we need all types. We need every one of you, because anyone who's out there that has that kind of passion or drive, you know, if you feel like you want to talk, you want to be a voice in crying out in the wilderness, like all of us, don't think that there's already someone doing it. I used to think that about photography. I had this thing in my mind that like, oh, every picture's already been taken, right?
Yeah, that's that black and white thinking that we chop off our legs before we even start walking with
right.
that. Yeah,
exactly. You know, and you have your own unique voice. There's no one out there like you. There can be 10 different people doing TA, and there's going to be 100 people, you know, and like different people are going to be watching different people, right? Like there's different flavors for all sorts of people that want to watch this kind of content, right? Someone who watches me might not watch Thoth, right? Like vice versa, you know,
almost guaranteedly. Now, now think of the analogy of music. Is a Hessian who listens to AC/DC, does he want to hear DJ Qbert scratching? Probably not. Does the Waylon Jennings fan, you know, want to hear Chinese traditional music? I mean, probably not. So what SJ says is so on point. There's really space for everybody. How about this? Use the analogy of your love life. You know, you're like, oh my God, and there is somebody for you, fat ass. Go find them. You know, they're out there. So it goes in this thing, man. There's different flavors, different speeds. There's no accounting for taste. There doesn't need to be a justification for it.
Yeah. So welcome.
JMO. Left him speechless, did I?
Right?
I was waiting for some topics to pop up. Who's going to be
topics? Well, I don't want to go with that. Benny Blanco brought up at the very top of the live chat that it would be cool if we got on, you know, this staking again. Wales Only was very prescient in his observations. Like, people ain't talking about it, and I'm looking at the hexfire.io numbers, and this shit's tailing off a little bit.
We can't get people to buy Hex, let alone start talking about staking. This is what I'm talking about. Is we got to get back down to basics. It's like Hex is at bargain basement prices, and now why is Hex important? And why is it important to be staking right now? Why is it important to be staking?
I used to want to have a T-shirt that said my entry price because that was a big deal, right? I'm like, I'm an 8/10 of a penny, motherfucker, up in here, and it's like now it's like, oh fuck, throw that one in the garbage, man.
Well, what's a T-shirt cost today?
Oh, $99 on the east side the other day.
Well, you're talking fees and everything, right?
I saw a T-shirt cost on 2 digits on Hex Daily Stats on the Ethereum side about 36 hours ago. IDB might be up on that more than me. I don't know.
Here's the thing. We had a great stream the other night. It was Westcott, Ben, Wales Only, and myself. Before any of that, before you all even talk about any of that, one of the most basics, and we talked about this for like an hour. Know what you're doing with your finances. Know that you are taking a risk. Know that this is a gamble. It's a great one. We're all betting on it together, right? But people are so upset. There are so many people that are so upset right now. There are so many people that have disappeared, and there are so many people that don't want to be a part of any of this right now because they over leveraged. They put in too much. They put in more than they were willing to lose. They put in more than they were willing to
and then they act like they were owed something.
There.
Yeah.
So a T-share right now on the ETH side is $87.
Woo! Wow!
$87.96. T-shares were like what, $2,500 at one time, or a little more than that, at all-time highs. That's the value that's out there right now.
And I'm not wearing much, but goodness.
And a T-share is making upwards of almost 7 hex per day per T-share.
Wow.
6.76, 6.75 hex per T-share. That's money on top of money right now. For cheap. Because the T-share you buy today, the hex that you get for that T-share today and tomorrow is going to be a different price a year, 2, 3, 5 years from now. That's what's important to remember, is that every single hex that I've made over the last 4 years is one day going to be valued much differently than it was when I received it. The hex itself doesn't change. The price of it is going to change. And it's gone up and down through the market cycles. But the next cycle is going to be moving up. Now, we may see a little more downside here, which, oh my gosh, could it possibly go any lower than this?
Bring it.
Of course. But the upside is that we know that the bull market will be coming, and all of that hex that you are making now. And especially stuff you don't got to worry about. The stuff that you got Quattro Cinco'd, or the stuff that you got 10 years from now or 5 years from now, that stuff's not going to matter until those days come. Right. That's a ways into the future. That's after this bull market comes and goes, But what are you doing to get yourself in at these prices now? Because in 5 years from now, you're not going to see this again. It's not going to be this way. Crypto's not going anywhere. DeFi is not going anywhere. This is the best DeFi space to be into. The most decent. What do we? Melv Tony just said we have 41,000 validators online as of today. 41,000 validators.
That's what's up.
That's decentralized AF, man. I mean, nobody's got what we've got. Oh, we lost him. Maybe he'll come back. In 4 months, we've decentralized that much.
People are taking that word though, and they're just throwing it around a little bit too much to my taking. It's
decentralization.
DeFi. Everything's we're DeFi, and you take a closer look at it, and you're like, just because you cover 3 of maybe the 9 first principles of DeFi does not make you fucking DeFi. Man.
Look at Uniswap. What they just did. I mean, the fact that they actually delisted a crypto.
Well, these admin key situations. I mean, listen, Richard Hart earned my trust, y'all's trust. If that man said in order for Pulse Chain to operate possibly, I needed to have the access to do this way. And I remember that was a big deal. Like that stuck in his craw. It stuck in our craw. He was talking about it and he just shrugged his shoulders. He says, this is how it goes. Now, here's the thing. That was Richard motherfucking Hart saying that. I will take that from him because he's proven himself out multiple times. When you step to this community like you're entitled, like I've known who you are for 4 months, and you're going to come to me and say, I'm starting this project. It's got to have admin keys. I'm like, okay, and? Well, that's perfectly fine. Oh, it is. Why? Well, Richard Hart, do you know the equity that man has in my heart? I don't know you from Adam, motherfucker. I don't know, man. I don't know. This DeFi thing, I listen close. And it is not applicable everywhere where it's being used. Case in point, every corporate entity, legacy side, multinational corporate entity coming up in the motherfucker is throwing around the term DeFi at every turn.
Yeah, and even XRP or Ripple is doing the same thing. I was talking about that earlier. They bought that company called Fortress. They bought that company called Medico.
It's over with them.
They're doing this to put these products online. They're centralizing crypto and publicly making it known.
It don't matter. They're in the boardroom with the CBDC architects now. They are no longer whatever. They are willing to get wealthy on the backs of slavery. That's what XRP is now. That's a fact. That's for you, XRP Army. We got the receipts. You all are on the wrong side now. There's no coming back. You would literally have to jump ship to a place like, I don't know. Hexico to be authentic DeFi, motherfucker. Pardon my French.
Plus, they always have Jeb and the other guy was the CEO always dumping Garling.
No,
they're gonna have
Vibrant said how many billions were in escrow. How many billions are in escrow over there, IDB?
I'm not even sure because I don't even know how much of the XRP they still own. But Jeb McCaleb, like the original guy from Mt. Gox and Stellar, he was in. He built XRP, so he has a bunch of it, and then he gets up just a little bit every time. But then obviously they use it to dump.
So he's like Dr. Hoskinson and Vitalik and let me see.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
That's exactly what's happening, guys. Like they're gonna continue using all these products, and they're buying all the DeFi products, and they're centralizing everything real soon. I'm not trying to freak people out, but just be ready. Captain already gave them a shout out. We have like KG and the guys working on Internet Money, but be ready for what's coming from Uni because they're gonna. Sorry, not Uni. MetaMask. They're gonna start KYC.
Well, yeah, the RPC. If you're on the island Fury, you're already doing that.
Oh, I also know that part was from the start.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, Hexicans that coach using the portfolio feature. No, we don't use the portfolio feature. But then here's the other thing that broke my heart, and maybe RG3, you can give me some insight. I got a lot of respect for our OGs, more respect for our OG streamers and content creators. What was Hexologist smoking last week? You do not turn your crypto into fiat with MM. You just do not do that. The brother was on there saying, this is really exciting development. I said, no, it's not. Don't do it.
I didn't catch that. He
man. I mean, you know,
you get tell just as Hex has been doing the clips, so he's just been putting like these clips with like the latest news and whatnot. But yeah,
we said this is an amazing development was his verbatim word, and I'm like, amazing from which aspect? Like
original MetaMask. He's just probably thinking like the MetaMask that we had in like 2019, but like it's changed so much. And then even when they changed, even when they came out with the user agreement that it stirred a lot of criticism and panic and FUD maybe like a year ago, it was the same one. I mean, I went back and checked it, and it was the same one as the original. It's almost like they said, oh, by the way, and this is something that we've been doing for 4 years.
Somebody's got some background going on there.
Oh, yeah, I hear that too.
Yeah.
There's a YouTube stream going on. There you go.
Not me.
Some feedback.
Not I. Somebody's phone got the stream on or something? I don't know.
I think so. I think it was ID. But yeah, he was. He'll come back in. If it was, no, it's still back in. It's still coming back.
RG, can I just mention something that I know is really close to yours and SJ's heart, and that's onboarding, because obviously you put an insane amount of effort into that. And it's not really an epiphany I've had lately, but I've noticed a couple of the streamers that I listen to, particularly talking about Metcalfe's law, which is interesting and actually brings a lot of clarity to what's been happening on my journey over the last couple of years. So, obviously, Metcalfe's law, as most people may or may not know here, I guess, do they generally? Generally, you got like
we always talk about Metcalfe's law.
About your people.
What's
So
that?
I'll tell you what, the people that I want on board, they don't know about it. Okay.
Yeah, that's usually
my channel is going to be very much, or the work that I have already started and do is about bringing simple strategies to crypto beginners. Because you've got to start with a broad net to bring them to the Richard Hart products. If I start talking about Hex and staking straight away, that's not going to happen. But what I hope to provide is like a channel that you guys can send your onboards to, which I'm talking about. But the examples I'm using are all Hex products or all RH products that are done in 12 different languages. I've done I've only done 2 or 3 videos. The idea was to have 10 ready before I got going. But oh my God, it takes so much time.
It does. And it takes all of us putting in the time and going out there and touching. And that's what Metcalfe's law is about, is one touching one. Mm-hmm. You have to get out there and get in front of somebody. Yeah. And that's what the Pulse Chain Tour is about, is getting in front of people, eye to eye, heart to heart, conversation, because this crypto thing is a story that needs to be told. It's not about marketing. It's not about billboards and stickers and all these things. Those things may bring awareness, but in reality, onboarding somebody takes you sitting down with them and telling them a story about what crypto is supposed to be. Because most people don't understand the financial
what is that?
story.
That's hard. That's
a lot of people
coherent.
don't understand the banking industry and what they're doing. They don't understand what their money does when it goes to a bank. I mean, I see banking experts out there being schooled on what the bank does with their money.
Wow.
And that's pathetic. I mean, some of the biggest people, I mean, you can see the stream where Richard Hart literally schools Schiff on how his money is being handled at the bank. Yeah. Peter Schiff doesn't know about fractional reserve banking. He was schooled by Richard Hart on stream. And you can see it happen.
Puerto Rico.
You can see it happen. And this guy is supposed to be one of the most touted financial experts in the space, right? You know, bashing Bitcoin and pushing gold down everybody's throat.
Yeah.
And he doesn't understand fractional reserve banking and what they're
doing. That's why Richard's quote, "Our pretend internet money is better than your pretend internet money."
And he had a bank in Puerto Rico. So he owned a bank. Peter Schiff owned a bank. So it's surprising, but I mean it's true. Like when I used to work at the bank, it was like that. Like I was like a little zombie, and they would give me my little script and would tell me what to say, and this is how much you can return, and this is the fees that you can work with. But learning about like inflation, monetary policies, I mean what the Fed does. No, that wouldn't tell me.
Listen, I just opened up a couple gun stores here in Eastern Pennsylvania. Now, I myself have never fired a weapon in my life, but I'd love it if you guys could come to my gun shop someday and take a look around.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of what it is. But back to what the doctor was saying, it takes education, it takes a story, it takes people that you trust sitting down with you and explaining this, because crypto's scary. First of all, it's extremely difficult to onboard. It's one of our Achilles heels. We have to get better at that. The processes have to be better. The crypto world is growing. DeFi is coming together. Hex has come out. Richard's doing a great job of building the core products, but the onboarding and the offboarding process has to become easier for people. Robinhood killed it. Robinhood absolutely killed it. They got people onboarded faster than anybody else I've ever seen into this space. Now, they did it through trickery, they did it through fuckery and all that kind of stuff, but they did it. So that's the kind of somebody out there, some of you brilliant genius motherfuckers out there in the crypto, in the Hexico, need to figure out how to set that up, how to get that done, how to do what Robinhood did. And
so what if Richard gave us precedence on that? Let's think about this, right? Because he said as much. He marketed Hex out the gate like it smelled a little scammy, right? Okay, so how do we project this into that. In fact, it could be argued that he was unboxing and shaking his ass in $2,000 Versace flip-flops to kind of say, here I am, come get me. Okay. So Richard continually seems to be taking what on first perception is a low common denominator and using it for the highest of purposes. So if he's fearless leader and we follow his lead, how can we then take this? Because we've been proven that the innate belief, the endogenous, because it's almost built in at this point, belief that folks have in the financial system as it stands. What's the value that counters that on the other side? Well, we learned you can't really replace that. People have legacy faith in the Federal Reserve and fiat and central banks, right? Because they have that one link from here to here. So now here we are. How many different tentacles do we need coming off our thing that will equal that faith that they have? Because we all know, everybody in this chat, everybody on the panel knows already. Logically, we got them smoked. We got them completely smoked. But you know as well as I do that making the logical argument and placing it in front of the masses, it's not going to work. You could be like, yo, if your kid touches that, he's going to go to an Ivy League school and get the Heisman Trophy. And if he touches that, his junk's going to fall off. He's going to go blind and he's going to get whatever disease. Well, the people still don't get it. They don't get it. So this is a real challenge. What do you do? What do you do to make the pathway that binds people to the belief central bankers are trustworthy and fiat money is where I should place my trust? How?
So
I don't know.
It's what the doctor said. And it's about Metcalfe's law. And it starts off slow. It really does. It starts off slow. And we have to find the right formula before that viral moment happens. See, we got to get out there.
If that was a steady line on a graph, RG3, then we would already be there because we clearly established the baseline with the number of users and wallets we have. So why hasn't been enough time?
The trick is what RH has said. It's building our own ramp with debit cards.
I like that.
What Robinhood did that a lot of people didn't have was a lot of people don't remember. You actually weren't even buying crypto.
No.
You were buying like the little digits at the Robinhood app. What they liked though, it was that you could hook it up real easy through debit cards. Like if
it was fractional reserve crypto is what it was, because they were just hoping everyone would just leave. And they made it so difficult for you to take your money off the platform that you were too embarrassed to even ask how to get it off.
Yeah, it's like 5 minutes to get in and like a couple of days to get out. That's exactly what they were doing. The problem is I did a lot of research when RH mentioned that, and like in the States, it's just so expensive because you have to do like money transmitter license. You need a surety bond. You need $100,000 insurance, and that's like per state. So then, you multiply the 50 states and then territories and then that type of stuff. That's why some places they're limited. Some states you can't. But if we could do that, that's, in my opinion, that's the key, because I think the problem is that we're losing a lot of people. Like Tots was saying, it's just like a lot of people, they want to be in the banking because it seems simple. It seems safe.
It's what's the norm. It's what people are used to.
Exactly.
It's comfort.
Exactly.
It's that macaroni and cheese. It's what it is. People want that comfort. Crypto's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not for the weak at heart. Look at the price fluctuations we have. I mean, do you want to put your money in something like that if you're thinking about safety and security? If how many people have their wives pissed off at them because they got in at the top and they're sitting at the bottom right now because they put their savings in it? I mean, there's a lot of folks out there that this volatility has really crushed. It's a scary thing, this volatility. This isn't like putting your money in a bank and making no interest. At least your money's still in the bank. It's still there. And we can talk shit about the banks all we want, but it's a lot more secure than this crypto up and down thing when it comes to your money. So there's a lot to be said about that. It's going to take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for this market to calm itself down. It ain't going to calm itself down anytime soon with the institutional money coming in like it's coming in. We had them take it to $1 trillion and they yanked it. We had them take it to $3 trillion and then they yanked it. And now we're going to probably see $6, $7, $8 trillion and they're going to yank it again. What do you think that's going to do to everybody? It's the volatility isn't going to slow down anytime soon. We're still going to see a lot of volatility, and it's going to wreck a lot of people, and it's going to make a lot of people billionaires. But it's not going to help us at adoption yet. It's not going to help us because look, every time the institutional money goes, we're still left with the same handful of people in crypto that we had before. Now, of course, the RH ecosystem, we've made our lot over this last couple of years. We've started to build our ecosystem and our wallets and all that, like Doss was talking about, how our wallets have grown and all that. We've established a base. Now we're going to fluctuate with the markets the same as everybody else. It's going to take some time, but we still have to get out and tell the story because see, we're telling the real story. We're on the right side of history. All those other furus and fake freaking influencers and everything out there, they're on the wrong side of history. They have been shilling the fake shit for far too long. It's going to be our season. This next season is our season. We're going to be on the right side of history. But we've got to make sure that we're setting up everybody's expectations properly. That yes, onboarding is hard. Yes, we're probably not going to get through regulatory yet and make this easy enough for everybody to get in. Yes, we're still going to have volatility and you need to be prepared for that. Yes, you still need to dollar cost yourself in properly and make sure that you understand how volatile this is and that you're not putting your whole fucking bag into this thing and gambling on the fact that you're going to be a millionaire in the next run. We've got to start setting up those expectations for people so they understand what's going on in this thing so that we don't lose folks.
Yep.
So that people understand what they're getting themselves into. And that's how we're going to do it. It's going to be a slow, steady trudge forward. Yes, we're going to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back and 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But we got to keep doing it and shoving it in their face and keep moving forward and not stopping and keep going during the bear markets and keep talking like this and not stopping when the tough gets going.
We're going to be truth speakers. We have to tell the truth. If we're going to claim to be truth speakers, we have to tell the truth. Now, here's the thing. It's built into this thing called life that you're supposed to feel pain. You're supposed to have difficulties. That's part of the code. How can we be truth speakers and still make it attractive to onboard? Case in point, I wish somebody had talked to me about any number of things. Projections on the Ethereum side, 15 years might have been nice. How about timing stakes that don't end at the bottom of a bear? Nobody brought that up. It was all like rah, rah, rah. Now, listen, I understand we all got swept up. The price calls, even Wales, who's as bearish and conservative as they get, did a $10 EOY. Now, for some reason, everybody gives him shit, but doesn't remember Jenkins' call, doesn't remember Wolverine's call. Jesus Christmas. Those guys were up in the stratosphere. We were all drinking the Kool-Aid to some degree at that point. If we're going to claim to be truth speakers, we got to speak truth. Am I not correct? You know, let's be transparent here. Yeah. But then again, we might be asking people to grow up, and I don't know that you can do that and be attractive.
And then if we say that Hex is going to go to single digits when we're at 40 cents, we shouldn't be censored and kicked out of the chats. That's another thing that should happen.
Boyo.
Because I mean, like, we could have prepared a lot more people if we would have had those type of conversations. I feel that what Tots is saying makes a lot of sense. Like, especially in the voice chat, we were hearing calls of $1, $3, and then when some of us we hit 50 cents, and you could tell already we were not getting to where we needed to be, and then the money that we needed to get back to 50 cents and then some. I knew that instead of doing a 2x, 3x, we were going to do a 50x cut, 50% cut, and then when we started saying that, it was just not popular in voice chat. It was just
you gotta always be leery of price calls.
Yeah.
I've always said price calls are bullshit here.
Yeah, they are.
If I say a price call, I'm just talking out the side of my fucking neck. There is no price call. Nobody knows what the price is going to be or going to do. We know that we have market cycles. We know we have macroeconomics in this thing. We know that the chart has always gone up and to the right, given a certain amount of time.
Mhm.
And even right now, Hex is up and to the right from where we started. It may not be up and to the right from the top, but it's up and to the right from where we started. So what does that mean?
Pull
that
back.
means more and more market cycles are going to push us up even higher because Hex is a solid product. Hex is a solid crypto. Hex ain't going anywhere. It's the best crypto out there, in my opinion. So we do have macroeconomics, but I want to answer this question here because this is important. And this is what's going on right now. And this is what people need to learn. If I can help Excellent Choice with this one question, I think that my job is, on the Pulse Chain Tour is worthy and working. Any words of advice to my first onboard to make a smart move and buy more at this bottom? I got him around 14 cents. Well, let me tell you something. On film and in front of everybody in the world now, I onboarded my good buddy Mikey, my good friend Mikey, into Hex at the top, and he put in $200,000 of his hard-earned money that him and his family have saved for their whole lives. And he's got a family. He's got 5 kids and a beautiful wife who doesn't hate my guts, but would like to stick her hands around my throat and choke me up. Now, what did Mikey do? What has Mikey been doing? Well, first of all, Mikey didn't get in because RG was afraid to get him into Hex at first because I had gotten him into everything. He and I had done everything together. And I finally told him when it was good, and then Mikey hemmed and hawed for a while, so it made it even worse. So he ended up getting in at the top, and we did it on film because they asked if, hey, can we film your friend getting in? And I said, sure, why not? We'll do it. So the whole world sees it. But what does Mikey do? What does he do? Well, he listens to his boy because his boy is the one that's in the know. They got him in. He knew he missed it a little bit. So he said, what do we do now? What's the strategy now? How do we fix this? And I said, well, we know from market cycles that eventually we're going to go up and to the right. So what you did was you aped in at the top. Mistake, my mistake, your mistake. Who knows what the price was going to be? We could have seen $1. We could have seen $1.50. You could have dollar cost some out, whatever. But you're going to sit and ride this anyway. Now, do you have any more dry powder? Do you want to get in deeper? I need to talk to you about this because here's what's going to happen. The thing's going to dump. It's going to drop, and we're going to go into a bear market, and you're going to see prices like you've never seen before. So we're not going to ape in on the first time we see it dip to a good price. We're not going to ape in at 20 cents. We're not going to ape in at 5 cents. We're not going to even ape in at a penny. We're going to keep dollar costing you into this system because that's what you want to do. So Mikey, first of all, says, well, what about this pulse chain thing? Well, pulse chain thing is an opportunity to get in at the ground floor, something that I got into like Hex from the beginning, and that's up to you. But all it is, and this is what I told him, is an L1. It's going to make Hex better. Now, is it going to be the end-all, be-all L1? I don't know. It's not out yet. It's not running. That's going to be on you if you want to get a little bit in this. So what did he do? He said, I'm in on this. I want some of that. So Mikey sacrificed, and he sacrificed a significant amount to get himself into Pulse and PulseX. So what else did he do? He said, okay, now I'm going to keep dollar costing in to the A1 premium crypto, to the A crypto, which is Hex. And that's what he's been doing, is dollar costing himself in and changing his cost basis from 54 cents or whatever he got in at 42 cents or whatever it was, all the way down to now he's buying it at under a penny. So he has changed his average.
I'd love to know where his average is now. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, so his average is down in probably the 12-cent range or something like that now versus where he was before.
That's awesome.
So that's how you have to be bringing your onboards in right now, especially those who bought at a higher price, like at 14 cents. Now you can get them the same bag for, literally,
right.
What's the price on that now at 14 cents? It's, at next to nothing. They can get their the same bag. So that's what you should be telling the person that you brought in. Hey, now it's time. Yeah, you got in. You didn't get at the very top. If you got in at 14 cents, you did pretty good still. So you can still change your cost basis though by putting some more in now.
And those other times, Cap,
Can
And
offer
those are the
another
times that
tool
if
as
you
well.
add like the whole banking system, you can actually add some value, because if they know how long of a time they have to be then into banking and making 0.05% or like 5 cents on every grand or something, whatever, I don't even know what the banks pay now. But yeah, if they can learn, so they can use this time of boring, to just educate themselves on what the money's actually doing, because we are suffering very high inflation. We are only being told that it's like 3 or 4%. The CPI numbers have been, you know, fudged or whatever. But anyone that's looking at shadow stats or going to the supermarket know what's really happening, so they can actually learn that and then maybe get away from that dollar. Because I feel that a lot of people think a dollar is a dollar is a dollar, but it's just not, it's getting debased, and a lot of things are happening. And I heard Tots mention the CBDC. I heard yesterday Congress had this um, committee, the Finance Service Committee, talking about the CBDC. So even the banks don't want it right now because they have it good. They have enough authorization through all these things that happened in the last 3 years, where the emergency powers, they've been able to just print as much as they want. They've been able to digitize as much of that debt as they want. And it's almost like they already are running a CBDC. Like the only difference is that we don't have like access directly to a central bank account with the Fed. But if the banks are zero reserve, so retail banks don't have to have any type of, commitment to the Fed, or they don't need any deposits, or they don't have to lend. They could just do whatever they want, and the reserves are at zero. They can just continue to play that game. So that's awesome that you guys are talking about that in the tour. So Cap, I was gonna say I need to head out. So thank you so much for hanging out.
ID, thanks for coming, bro. Always good to
Of
have
course.
you, man. And
Have
your
fun
wisdom.
in where are you guys going next? Atlanta, right?
We're going to be in Atlanta. So those of
Atlanta.
you
23rd.
hot Atlanta on the 23rd,
There you go.
we're having a super event. What is it called again, SJ? It's called
Masterclass.
a masterclass
There
event. So we're going to have
Pulsechaintour.com.
yes,
Check
we're
your
going to have
notes, sir.
we're going to have cabana. We're going to have cabana there. Where are my notes? We're going to have cabana there. We're going to have Rags is going to be there. I'll be there. We're going to be doing
Mello.
and the Mello's going to be there, and we're going to be giving away.
Cap, did I
How much
read your
is it now?
notes?
Let me put that up now. We're going to be giving away 5 million Pulse and 5 million Pulse X just on a whim to whomever is. If you're there and you're getting so everybody's going to get a raffle ticket, and we're going to give away hats and T-shirts and coins and stuff from Hex Toys. We're just going to give away all kinds of cool, crazy stuff. And then we're going to give away 5 million Pulse and 5 million Pulse X. Now, we did that before on Discourse Syndicate, and that turned into a lot of money for some people when we gave away 5 million Hex one night. And at that point, it wasn't a lot, really. But in the scheme of things, when it came out and it ended up at all-time highs, that was a lot of Hex to be given away. And those people made a lot of money. And some of them cashed some out, and we had one gal that she's got it all staked, and she's got a big, bright future ahead of her because of that. And I mean, just that's a lot of Pulse and Pulse X. So get to Atlanta, come check us out. You can go to pulsechaintour.com. We're going to be giving away a lot of other cool stuff too. And she's pointing at the pulsechaintour.com.
There you go.
Right there.
Am I?
All right, Kat. Well, anyone is watching this, I changed the channel, so I'm not going by identity block on the channel. I'm going by the original blockchain trends. So we're talking a lot of stuff about Hex and Pulse. So, and regulation. I'm covering a lot of regulation. All these bills that are happening about stable coins. There's one coming up soon being talked about, and it's called the Keep Your Coins Act. So I think that if they approve the one for stable coins, then all of a sudden the banks inject $2, $3, $5 trillion into the system. And then if they approve the Keep Your Coins Act, then we won't have the regular dumps on every cycle of like everyone just kind of freaking out at the bottom and then just extracting the little bit of crypto that's left. So I think a lot of people are just going to remain in the markets, and then if the banks just come in with, you know, a little bit of those bags. I still remember the first time I talked to the captain, and I mean, it had to be like March or April of 2020. The captain was saying something about $1, and I said, we'll hit $1 when JP Morgan comes by our bags. And the captain's like, who's this guy? Who's this guy in the but yeah, we're gonna have some fun, guys. So we're down now, but just get ready because the rocket
not out.
will. Yeah,
That's right.
So thank you, Cap. Have a great one.
All right, my brother. We'll see you around, man.
I wanted to address. Oh, just real quick. CJ said y'all hitting SLC. Been there. We did. I drove through SLC and we had a mini meetup. So
yeah, there was a meetup in Salt Lake City. You missed it. Sorry, but we will be in Arizona if you want to come down to Arizona. I think we're going to be in Phoenix there.
And when's the Vegas date?
Oh, I think
January?
It's going to be early January, or we haven't figured it out because of the New Year's thing. It's the New Year's thing that has kind of got us. What are we going to do? Because New Year's in Vegas, it's a lot of fun, but it's a big pain in the ass too. So we're trying to figure out what we're going to do there.
Kelsey, just before we wrap, is it okay? I don't know if you're wrapping, but can I just offer a tool for onboarding?
Of course.
More of an idea, because I've noticed myself when I'm approaching my friends and family at the moment, I feel kind of depressed at like talking about crypto. This is the reason I've set up the channel with the simple concepts on, so that I can say to them, look, you might not understand crypto, but there's some basic simple concepts here on this channel, and they can go there, and all the examples are all Richard Hart products. So I know they're not going to get shilled crap, frankly. But titration, I don't know if you remember titration at school in chemistry, when you had these two long test tubes and a little cock at the bottom, a little what's it called? A little twisty thing, a tap. That's the word. A little faucet at the bottom. Do you remember that, when you have two different colored chemicals and you're dropping it into a beaker? Do you remember titration? Yes.
I've done things in beakers, but not in high school. Okay. Have at it though.
Okay. That's all right. Well, okay. So I remember in chemistry, they had titration, which is two different chemicals, and you drop them together into a beaker. So one will be colored blue and the other will be colored red. Or in fact, one's colored blue and one's clear. And it drops. Nothing happened. They're both dropping at the same time. And you're measuring until finally what happens is the blue turns gold. And it's like, wow, that is the magic number. You take those numbers off. So when we're speaking to people, it's like titration. So they're not going to get crypto the first time, most likely. And a thing that anyone that's ever been in a anonymous program for alcoholics, the best way to talk to someone about alcoholism is for an alcoholic to talk to them. So you talk about your story. So you talk about your crypto story rather than trying to talk about like the highfalutin technology and the staking and all the rest of them initially. And then the idea of titration is they may walk away from you and say, what a weirdo. And that's given me a lot of courage now, because I know after 5 or 10 hearing about crypto on the news, or their friend talking about it, or the shoeshine boy talking about it, eventually it'll pop. And when you were on that stream with ATX, I love his work, I love everything he does. You were talking about onboarding and ATX first time, and he's super bullish, but he said, man, it's just so hard at the moment. And I get it, because he must be talking to hundreds of people and they're all blowing him off. But if you recall that titration concept, even if they blow you off now, there's going to be a few more drops. And now is actually the time. If this is really the bottom, and even if it isn't the bottom, it's a very, very safe time to invest compared to when I invested right at the top. And I have DCA'd. And I'm going to do a lot more DCAing very soon, as I mentioned, in a few days. But the idea is that titration. You can say it, someone else will mention it. So don't get down hard. I'd like to offer this to the viewers. Don't get downtrodden, disheartened. Okay, just keep dropping. They'll hear the captain, they'll hear SGA, and then one day they'll just pop and it'll just turn gold.
Yep. That's it. We got to keep moving. We got to keep going until that viral moment hits. Metcalfe's law doesn't happen until all of the small numbers are reached first. It's that penny doubled every single day for a month that, hey, do you want $100,000 or do you want a penny doubled every day? And most people wouldn't say a penny double, but it comes out to 1,300,000, something like that, just by doubling it every single day, doubling a penny and then doubling that number. The first week or two doesn't look very big, but then after that, it's after the doubling starts moving faster and faster. And we saw that in the market when Hex was moving up. When Hex started, when Hex finally, it took us a long time to get to that penny. It took us a long time, a lot of work to get to that penny. But once we hit that penny, it was 2 pennies, 3 pennies, 6 pennies, 12 pennies, 24 pennies, boom, 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 boom. And it just started going very, very fast, very, very parabolic. And that's what happens. That's the Metcalfe's law. It's, hey, you're an overnight success, RG. Yeah, after 50 years of failing and falling on my face and losing and spending money and, pissing people off and, hurting and struggling. Yeah, I'm an overnight success. But it took a long time for me to find the right thing, to get into the right position, to put myself in a position correctly, to have opportunity and timing meet at the same time, and that was success. But it took a long time. Just like this is going to take a while. It's going to take us a while, but when it does move, it's going to start moving very, very quickly because we're already at that penny. And once we start seeing things move, now the next moves that are going to be quick are once it goes to 50 cents, then it goes to $1, and then $1, $1.50, $2, $2.50. That's when it's going to start moving even faster and faster and faster. That's how these market cycles work. That's how these market cycles work. And I was talking to Kinetics this morning about it. And we were talking about, the bullshit of the charts, but the charts aren't really bullshit. And there's people out there that study this because the world is math. Everything that we do is a mathematical equation, and all math is a way for us to interpret everything that's going on around us. The charts are only interpreting market sentiment and what human beings are doing. And they've learned how to read these charts and these mathematics of what people are about to do in this time frame, in this economic turn, in this space, and what's going on out there. They've learned how to read the math, and that's why these charts and real life kind of mix together. Now I stay away from them because I don't like reading the tea leaves and all that kind of stuff, but I do look at the macroeconomics and I do understand the Fibonacci and all these things, how they do cyclically work in human nature and how human beings actually are mixed up in all of this. And that's what happens with Metcalfe's law. Metcalfe's law is just human beings doing human. We're just doing human. It's what we do. You ever seen that video of that guy dancing and he's doing this weird dance all by himself and everybody's looking at him like he's a fool? And then all of a sudden, one other person joins him. And now there's 2 fools out there. And then before you know it, 2 walkers by go, hey, let's go be fools with him. And then he got 4 fools. And then before you know it, the whole place turns into one big foolish dance off. And the end of it, so that at first he was out there by himself and you watch this video, it's only about a minute long, minute and a half long or whatever. But you watch the first 30, 40 seconds, it's him by himself. And then that last 30, 40 seconds is it exponentially growing until you've got more and more people than even the screen can hold. So that's how Metcalfe's law works. That's the speed at which it moves. And that's just how this market does it too. Now, it goes down the same way. It goes down the exact same way. Very, very quickly. It's very, very volatile. And it does exactly the opposite as the number goes down just as fast as it went up. So you've got to be prepared for that. And that's what we've got to educate people more on, is to be prepared for that. Don't get yourself over leveraged. Mm-hmm. Don't get too excited about what's going on and put yourself at risk and over leverage yourself. We got to warn our people about that. Getting them in at a low price is great, but also warning them about the pitfalls and what the volatility of this market means to them and their investments.
That's something that I didn't actually realize, although I'd heard Richard talk about it, and obviously in the middle of the bull market, everyone was talking about volatility. And I was like, yeah, okay, I got that. And then actually, I think it was a chat group, and it was people talking about how they're having so much absolute trouble holding, and when it was going down, they're having trouble. And they were talking about the real raw emotions, and that started making it a little real until I felt it. And then, I'm like, okay. But I'm fortunate in that, like I said earlier on, right at the beginning, I saw the fuel prices go down, and I thought, we're going to drive again. That's not a problem. So now, like I say, I've gone from 6 figures to 5 figures, but crypto is going to come back again. The reason it's coming back, it is the future of my children. I see that super clearly. So that actually helps when I can see that. I don't feel quite so worried, and I don't tell my wife what I've done. Two things really important: have the vision and don't tell your wife.
Right on. SJ, do you have anything else to say before we close out tonight?
Atlanta's gonna be off the hook.
Hotlanta.
Come on out, y'all. Who knows what I'll be wearing then? Shoot.
Oh boy.
Or not wearing.
She is
saucy today.
She is working. She wants followers. She's trying to get followers.
I'm the opposite of rags to riches.
She saw boobs getting followers today, so she's thinking that she needs to go out there and get followers. I'm telling her, don't sell out.
I don't care.
All right, everybody.
Outrage.
PulseChainTour.com. Go get your tickets. Come get your VIP tickets and come hang out with us afterwards. The real action happens at the party. After the party, SJ's going to still be there and still hanging out and still having a good time.
Still wearing the flag.
Still wearing it. I want to see you run around in the Jolly Roger. So what we do afterwards, if you're a VIP member of the group, you get to come out to dinner with us. We sit down, we have these lighthearted discussions about, your bags and what's going on, and have deeper discussions, stuff that we don't, usually talk about in public settings, more private session. There's usually a couple handfuls of people at these dinners. Dinners are always fabulous. Kayla, Black Hexican, she just kills it. She always puts us in a really nice spot. So really well worth it. And you're going to get a lot of value out of the seminar itself. So go get your tickets, get the VIP. I want to hang out with you guys. I love hanging out with the Hexicans afterwards and having a good time. A lot of times we end up either at bars till 3-4 o'clock in the morning, or concerts, or you name it. We saw LL Cool J in
Miami,
North Carolina, and Richmond. It was a great time. We had a really good time. So we like you guys to be there. So go get your tickets. Go to PulseChainTour.com. Check it out. Anything else from you, Doctor, you want to add before we
just kind of plug the channel? There's not a lot going on. I don't sell anything. It is just purely information or edutainment. And it's for simple crypto investing strategies for beginners. And like I say, it's in 10 languages, including Spanish, Hindi, French, German. There's a lot of them. So if you've got people that don't speak the lingo, you can send that to them. Just change the subtitles. That's about it, really. I've got some t-shirts. If anyone wants one, I'll send them the design, and they can mac them and they can print them up themselves. Next generation OGs. This is
nice.
Satoshi. He's my assistant. And
yeah, it's like mine. I got Maxi back there. That's
all
nice.
Right.
Cool. Yeah, RG, will you please link the Pulse Chain?
Link the Pulse Chain Tour. PulseChainTour.com.
Elon's Rugder.
Elon Rugder. Yeah, I'll put the Pulse Chain Tour in the description so that everybody can see it. She just put it in the chat room. You can get your tickets there. I'll put it in the description.
Put it in the chat too.
Oh, you just did?
No, but it doesn't. It won't link from me. People can't click on it.
Okay.
You share it. People can click on it.
Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that. All these years, and I didn't know.
No,
that.
See, now you got to put it in the chat, not the private chat.
Oh, hey, shush! You just.
Oh, mutiny in the ranks, Captain.
That's why I don't steer the ship. I just sit here and point my fingers and tell them.
Scallywag.
Hoist the main, and batten the hatches, and be off with yourself. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. It was great to be able to get back on the FN Hangout and get out of Burning Man and all that stuff alive. Appreciate you all. See you on the Pulse Chain Tour. We'll see you all next week. Chatting with the captain on Monday night, Wednesday night. Hopefully me and Famous are going to do another stream. We can't wait to get that thing back going. We'll see you all next week. Have a